Take a break from your busy schedule and join Harold Sala for Guidelines, a 5-minute commentary on living.
I was in Italy, in a small hotel having dinner, when I overheard 2 Australians talking at the next table. After the meal, I introduced myself and asked where they were from. When I learned that they were from Melbourne, I said, "That's interesting. We've just had house guests with us from Melbourne for the past 2 weeks prior to leaving on this trip." We began to compare notes, and would you believe they were the next-door neighbors of the friends who had just been with us? Coincidence? Perhaps. Both of us were thousands of miles from home. The chances of that happening are rather slim, but try calling this next one a coincidence. Life magazine told about it. 15 people were scheduled to be present for choir practice at the Little Baptist Church where they attended. But at 7:15 p.m., when the practice was scheduled to begin, nobody was there. Now, everybody had a good reason for being late. A car wouldn't start. A radio program wasn't over. The ironing hadn't been finished. A friend was talking to another friend, and the conversation hadn't ended. As the result of their tardiness, not a one of the 15 choir members, including the director, had arrived at 7:25 p.m. when an explosion destroyed the building. In his book, Lady Luck, Warren Weaver says the chances of that just happening are like 1 in a million. In that situation, I would find it very difficult to accept the fact that tardiness was just good luck. And we know that in all things, God works for the good of those who love him, who have been called according to his purpose, wrote Paul to families in the Church of Rome long ago. Now, this is not to suggest that the 15 or 16, most of whom were usually there on time, were more spiritual than those who assembled at the Lutheran Church for choir practice the same week. But it does underline the fact that beyond chance or coincidence is the clear manifestation of God's hand in bringing about his will and purpose. When I was attending the dedication of one of the new transmitters owned by the Far East Broadcasting Company on Luzon and needed to return to Manila in time for a speaking engagement that evening, I hitched a ride on a military helicopter. "Oh, that was really dangerous," remarked a friend. True, a machine gunner in flak jacket with doors opened, poised, ready to go into action, made me think the same thing for a few minutes. But I replied, "No, I was his protection." Not really. What I was doing was in line with what I felt was the will of God for my life. And in that trust, my life rested firmly in the hands of him who was the architect of the universe. Friend, can you sleep more soundly with the understanding your life is not a matter of fate or indifference to our Heavenly Father, that he is aware of the needs of your life, and furthermore, because of your relationship with God, he has a will and a purpose for you. The protection and the providence of God are not benefits of an eternal insurance policy which lets you do as you choose and provides the umbrella of God's grace overhead. It is simply the result of a relationship which you have, whereby you are committed to the will of the Almighty and strive to walk in his way. The context of Romans 8, which tells us of God's protection and guidance, is not to be taken for granted. If you're unsure of your relationship with your Heavenly Father, you need to become part of the family of God. In the will of God, there is no such thing as a coincidence, merely a divine appointment. I'm Harold Sala, and what I've talked to you about today is of great importance. If you're not sure how to have a relationship with God, please get in touch with the station you're listening to right now. I'd be glad to hear from you too. Email will reach me at guidelines@guidelines.org.